It will never cease to amaze me how white people were able to create this narrative that black people are violent in all types of things and you should be scared of them, yet they have the longest history of being violent. The first things that you guys did when you got to this land was spread your diseases, try and kill off all the natives, brought your slaves over, and then you beat them, you raped them, and then you fed their babies to alligators as bait. Not only that, you guys were cannibals too, and then used their skin as leather. And then you had sundown towns. Not had, have. Those still exist till this day. And then you have these shops that you set up where you sell Confederate flags. Yet, black people are violent. You're sitting here going, clutch my purse, yet we should be doing that to you guys. A foul history of violence. Not just to black people, but to other people too. To yourselves, mind you. Like, what? This little narrative that you built around black people is just a projection of what you guys did. What you guys do. Scratch my head. I don't even know where you got this narrative from. I'm just like, I'm appalled. Like, this is just a next level of coping. Like, just next level. I hope it's obvious that I'm not talking about all white people when I say this, right? Like, I'm obviously talking about the ones that are racist.
Supremacists don't believe that racism is real, and yet they accuse me of being racist towards them. And here's 3 reasons that that's actually fucking bullshit. The first is that I am white. I can't be racist to you. This is in-group hostility, babe. I just fucking hate you for who you are. Not because we have the same skin color, because you're a fucking bigot. Number 2, if you have the comprehension skills to understand what racism means, then you can actually take the time to understand that racism is something that black and brown people experience in the US. If you're like, oh my god, like people are so racist to white people, that is a myth. Do you have to worry about being profiled when you walk outside? No. Do you have to worry about being shot when police pull you over? No. If anything happens to you, people take it seriously because you're white. That is the opposite of racism. That is privilege. And number 3, talking about race does not equal racism. I talk about race because I have to, because America is built upon racial hierarchy. White people in America literally enslaved black people and imported them like a product to build society. And their labor was exploited to make white people rich. So yeah, the effects of that are going to be felt centuries later. Literally, go away. If you're not going to listen to this video, just fucking leave.
I'm not making this video to start a race war. I'm making this video because I think one of the biggest reasons this country keeps ripping itself apart is because people have forgotten how to listen to pain without making it about themselves. And from the outside looking in, something I've noticed over and over again is that a lot of black people are not asking to be worshipped. They're not asking for pity. They're not asking for special treatment. A lot of the time, most of the time, they're just trying to explain what life has felt like for them and their families. And somehow, the second those conversations start, everything turns into a debate. No listening, no understanding, no curiosity, a debate. Are you sure it was racism? Well, that happens to everybody. Just get over it. My family struggled too. You're playing victim. You're dividing people. That was a long time ago. Just work harder. And it's like, damn, can somebody speak about pain without immediately being cross-examined like they're in court? Because what I think a lot of people don't understand is that when somebody talks about racial trauma, discrimination, oppression, or generational and ancestral pain, they're usually not saying every white person is evil. They're talking about patterns, systems, history, environment, institutions, treatment, oppression. The psychological way of constantly feeling misunderstood, stereotyped, over-policed, unheard, or emotionally dismissed. And I feel like some people instantly get defensive because acknowledging somebody else's reality forces them to question the version of reality they were raised to believe. That discomfort is very real because if you grew up never experiencing certain things, it's easy to assume they barely exist. If you've never been followed around stores, never had teachers assume less of you before you even spoke, never felt pressure to code switch just to seem safe, never had your natural features mocked, never had people fear you before knowing you, never had generations of trauma sitting underneath your family structure, then of course certain conversations are going to sound exaggerated to you. And it's not because you're automatically a bad person. It's because human beings struggle to fully understand pain they've never personally had to carry. And honestly, the more I observe, the more I realize that's where I think a lot of the division comes from. People hear pain as accusation instead of communication. So instead of listening, they defend themselves. Instead of asking questions, they shut down. Instead of empathy, it becomes ego protection. It turns into just this debate, deflection, dismissiveness, rejection. And that's exhausting for people who already feel unheard. Imagine opening up about something painful and constantly being told, that didn't happen, it's not that bad, you're overreacting, you're too sensitive, you're the real racist for bringing it up. Do people realize how psychologically draining that is? To feel like you have to provide a PowerPoint presentation every time you talk about your own lived experience just to earn basic human understanding? And again, this is not about blaming all white people. There are plenty of white people who listen, care, empathize, educate themselves, and genuinely try to understand perspectives outside their own. But there's also a real consistent cultural issue where conversations about race immediately become centered around white discomfort instead of black pain. And that's the problem, because healing cannot happen if the people speaking about wounds are instantly forced to emotionally babysit the people listening. Sometimes people don't need a debate. They need humanity. They just need you to shut the fuck up and listen. And I think another uncomfortable truth people avoid talking about is how segregated a lot of society still is, even now. Not always legally, but socially, economically, culturally, systemically, educationally. A lot of people grow up in environments where they barely have meaningful relationships with people outside their race, outside their neighborhood, outside their worldview, outside their environment, outside their culture. So they end up learning about black people through stereotypes, headlines, social media clips, political propaganda, music caricatures, agendas, false, racist, outdated narratives, crime statistics stripped of context, or internet outrage instead of actual human connection. And then people wonder why empathy is broken, why we're still divided, why there's so many racial issues in this country. You cannot fully understand somebody's humanity if your only exposure to them is through fear, stereotypes, or surface level interactions. That is conditioning. And I think what a lot of black people are truly asking for is not guilt, it's acknowledgement. That's it. Acknowledgement that history leaves scars, acknowledgement that systems can affect people differently, acknowledgement that generational trauma is 110% real, acknowledgement that discrimination did not magically disappear just because laws changed, acknowledgement that being constantly invalidated hurts. That's it. That's fucking it. You don't have to hate yourself to acknowledge somebody else's suffering. You don't have to personally experience an injury to believe somebody when they say they're bleeding. And honestly, I think this country would heal a lot faster if people stopped treating empathy like surrender. Listening does not erase you. Understanding somebody else's pain does not attack your identity. Acknowledging racism exists does not mean every white person is evil. And speaking about racial pain does not automatically mean somebody is spreading division. Sometimes people are just fucking tired, man. Tired of feeling unseen, dismissed, tired of explaining themselves, tired of carrying generations of pain while also being told that pain doesn't exist. And I think if more people had the emotional maturity to sit with uncomfortable truths without instantly becoming defensive, we would finally start having real conversations instead of rehearsed arguments. Because at the end of the day, this isn't even about politics. This is just about humanity. And humanity starts dying the second people care more about protecting their comfort than understanding somebody else's pain.
I make this video. I've been going through TikTok and I'm seeing this black and white race war. But I think it doesn't matter. Black or white, it doesn't matter. Let us see what these guys are saying. Me, I don't believe in racism. Yeah, yes, racism is there, but me, I believe we are one people. Black or white, we are one people. Let us see what these guys are saying.
When I, as a white woman, hear a black woman say, I don't really like white women, I don't trust white women, it doesn't hurt my feelings, and it shouldn't hurt yours either. Here's why. As a group, we as white women have really struggled to take accountability for the way that we behave and the way that we have harmed people of color, right? I think about Emmett Till and how Emmett Till was a child who was lynched, horrifically murdered, because a white woman lied about what he did. And even the enslavement of black people in the United States. White women had so much more to do with enslavement than history would teach us. I read a book recently called They Were Her Property with my friend, and the historian who wrote it was showing a lot of evidence to support that white women not only were just bystanders in this mass genocide of people of African descent in the United States, but that we also were perpetrators of this violence. We bought, sold, and transferred ownership and property of these individuals in our own right. You know, oftentimes people were left to people left their daughters human beings in their will, and it was like they were gifted an enslaved person on their 21st birthday, like just crazy atrocities. And then history is just really like glossed right over that. You know, it's been seen as like a man's problem, and we were right there with him. And a lot of times we took out our powerlessness in the patriarchy on enslaved people. It's one way that women felt like they had power and they had autonomy is over the people they owned. So oftentimes women were more brutal than men for those reasons. And I just think that if we aren't willing to look at the historical context and then look at the way that we behave now, like how many videos do you see of white woman Karens in parking lots and public parks and wherever else calling the police or calling a white man on a person of color that they perceive to be, I don't know, doing something wrong or not complying with what that white woman says. We just are perpetrators of violence in this way. So when black women are saying, yeah, I don't trust white women, to me it feels like pattern recognition. It feels like survival. It feels like something a smart person would do. The stove is hot, and when I touch it, it burns my hand. I'm not going to keep touching the stove. That's what I hear when I hear black women say, I don't trust him. That's what we should be hearing, that we're not trustworthy as a group. What can we do to be better? Number one, acknowledge that we have been a problem. Be honest about the problem that white women have been throughout American history. And then once we start acknowledging that problem, hold each other accountable. If we want to be allies, that's what it takes. And I think a lot of times we're really more concerned about our own feelings and not feeling like, oh, they don't like me, they think I'm a bad person, than we are about being actual allies.
White people would also rather struggle with no free healthcare, no free public education, because as long as the black people don't get it, they're fine with not getting it too. They will pay the price at the expense of black people. We could have all had nice things.
Let me just address you Europeans that are all up in my comment section saying that I'm racist. Here is how simple it is to overstand what I stand for. Give us our shit back. Leave our land, do not return. And also, leave us alone. This profile is a safe space for black people. Yes, I am 3/4 black. I identify as black and I'm proud of being black. I'm pro-black. I'm about black liberation and I'm about freeing my black people from the oppressor. My intention is to promote black-owned businesses, black-owned products and keep black money in the black community. Now I know this might make you feel away because you like to think that the world revolves around you, but if you don't like it, keep it moving and mind your business. I do know that you struggle with minding your business. The day Europeans actually decide to do the right thing, guess what would happen? Indigenous people would return home and rebuild. What would you have if we left? Because still till this day you are extracting and stealing resources from Africa, as well as using black culture to profit from, which personally, I think that's cheeky. If you are not black, you should not be profiting from black culture. So again, I'm not racist. I'm pro-black, bitch.
All right, I'm just going to say this. And again, let me preface by saying this is an anti-Trump page. There's nothing about Trump that I like. There's nothing about him, quite frankly, that is redeeming, except for the fact that he is an actual human being. And that's it. That's the only thing that we have in common, I should say. But probably according to him, he doesn't believe that about me. But anyway, I need MAGA and conservatives, Christian nationalists, racists. Y'all have got to stop. Like the lies that you all are trying to tell, especially after this unalivement of old CK is literally starting to just be egregious. Hearing JD Vance say that the most radical people and the most extreme or maybe most violent are far left, is he crazy? Is it crack? Is he crazy? Like, why you just gonna just up and lie? Just up and lie. It has always been far right. It has always been racists. It has always been people that looked at others and judged them, didn't like them because of their skin color, didn't like them because of who they love, didn't like them because of who they believe in, their religious beliefs. It has always been those people that are the most radicalized, that are the most hateful and violent and extreme. Like, the fact that we have so many domestic terrorists who unfortunately tend to look white, to be white, and tend to be men, But yet, domestic terrorists is barely used. When school shootings and things like that happen, where majority of those people who do school shootings, they are white men and boys. You don't really hear domestic terrorism because at some point the media and these racist politicians try to lessen the blow of it. I mean, the fact that HBCUs were getting bomb threats, I mean, black people didn't have anything to do with that man getting unalived. It was in Utah. As people kept saying, it's in white-ass Utah. And a white man did it, who is not a leftist. Although I know MAGA, I know the president, I know the vice president, and all of those idiots in their cabinet really wanted it to be. It wasn't. Like, when are y'all just going to face the facts? Hey, and I know it ain't all white people, but I need y'all to, like, ingest it. Y'all can be, what is this? Oh, lint. Anyway, y'all are a violent people. Historically, you've been violent. I know y'all trying to erase slavery and the bad things about slavery and making it seem like it was a choice. The things that your ancestors or many white people's ancestors did to black people's ancestors, atrocious. Your ancestors, I believe, are burning in hell. Got to be. From taking our teeth and using it basically as you all's dentures, taking our skin and using it as leather for your furniture, taking our hair and using it to stuff pillows and things of that nature, raping black women left and right, raping black men left and right, eating us, bruh. Please, enough already. And again, I understand all white people and all your ancestors were not evil, horrible people. But damn it, the lack of accountability is just getting to the point where it's beyond. The fact that y'all are allowing folks to try to rewrite history, the fact that y'all trying to make it seem like that man who got unalived was actually a good person. Oh, but he was a child of God. He believed he was God-fearing. Man, please. He called people racial slurs. He said black women weren't smart. He said basically that gun violence was necessary so we can keep the Second Amendment. Like, y'all, and by y'all, I mean racists, Christian nationalists, MAGA. Y'all are some of the most hypocritical people I have ever heard in my life. Y'all truly are modern day Hitler supporters. Y'all really are. You really are. And it's a shame. And I'm sick of it. I'm sick of hearing about all these lies. I'm sick of y'all making all these racist laws and executive orders. The Supreme Court, like I just can't even. the things that they are passing. Like it's okay to like racially profile people. I mean, we're locking people up in Alligator, Alcatraz, and to hell. I'm literally sick of it. This country, it's make America great. My ass. This country is on that bullshit. Make America great again. Just say, make America a racist state again. Make America have slaves again. Make America subpar. Make America hateful again. Because ain't nothing great about what's going on here. And then the part that is kind of like, I don't understand why y'all don't understand it, is the racists are still like, yes, get the black people, get the brown people, get the gays, the trans, the women. And you feel like as a racist person, specifically probably a white person, that you're immune to this. They're gonna come after you too, because when all of us are gone or everything is fucked up, they're coming after the poor people, the poor whites. You're not going to be immune. You are literally setting up your own demise. Sure, we as a black person, as a woman, all that, we're going to get screwed first. Certainly. But you are not immune from this. You're not immune from this. Your hatred is not immunity. Stupidity. It's not immunity. Like, what is wrong with y'all? This is what y'all wanted? This is the country you wanted? This bullshit? Y'all are crazy. You racist, you Christian nationalists, y'all are nuts. But that's okay, honey. Because, I just pray to the Lord. Lord, just, if you need to rapture all of us away, that's fine. And lead them here to fight amongst themselves, Jesus. Just, please. What is it? You're hoisted by your own petard? What's that phrase? I hate that a lot of y'all are not going to see justice in this life. But I am a Christian, and I do believe that justice will come. And it's probably going to be where we don't see it. That whole vengeance is mine, thus saith the Lord, I will repay. I wish I could see it. I wish I could see it, because y'all are out of pocket. The hate that y'all have for people for no good reason is beyond me. Y'all done put this man in office, and this country has gone to hell in a handbasket. And again, don't come on my page for that bullshit. I'm just gonna block you. I'm not in the mood. I'm not gonna be in the mood. I'm just gonna block you. Don't waste your time typing some bullshit, okay? Because I don't give a fuck about what you talking about. I said what I said, and I stand on it. Good night.
White Christians, please, I need you to hear something. And not just to hear it, but to let it sink deep down into your soul. There is a struggle that the black community has been through since the moment they were put in chains and brought to this land. There is a struggle that we will never fully be able to comprehend as white people. But when we turn around and support a man like Donald Trump, who has taken that struggle and trampled on it and spit on it and completely disregarded it, it's like shooting an arrow through the hearts of our black brothers and sisters. For 10 years, arrow after arrow after arrow. And what I want to tell you is this: those arrows don't just pierce their hearts. They pierce the heart of God, because he's the God of the struggle, and he hasn't forgotten one single moment of it.
Thank you for watching Great Minds Black.